When the internet first came on the scene, security was not even a thought. Initial attempts at security were primitive, and as the technology evolved, implementing security protocols have struggled to keep up. Perhaps from the beginning of the net, we would have been better served to take a lead from our ancestors from the Bronze Age, when security philosophies about defending against intruders were much more sophisticated and efficient than ours used today on the internet and in corporate networks. Let's see what Bronze Age wisdom Angus, a fort built 3,000 years ago on the Aran Islands, can impart that will help security evolve in the digital age. Reinforce brute defense at most strategic and weakest points. The inner enclosure of the Angus fort was the most strategic locale where their most valuable assets, goods, food, their people, peasants, soldiers, and elite were protected. The walls protecting the inner enclosure were the strongest. Entrance walls were also thickened as they were most vulnerable. The lockbox containing the most precious items was buried deep in the fort. The fort itself was built high on a hill on the edge of a 300-foot cliff, literally shearing off an important potential attack route. In other words, the architects were assessing risks when building Angus. When it comes to data security, risk assessment should be done before building the corporate networks to protect the confidentiality of your information. Put your most sensitive and valuable data in the core of your physical and virtual security structure, and limit the access to it as much as possible. Open your perimeter only when and where necessary. Angus ranges over 14 acres, yet there were only 1 or 2 doorway openings in the walls. In terms of security, entrances are weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Compared to today, many damaging worms succeed simply because ports or virtual doors are unnecessarily left open. Open your perimeter only when and where necessary. Only allow specific access to specific resources and implement least privileged access to resources. Practice defense in depth. Archaeologists have used the term defense in depth to describe obstacles erected to thwart attacks. At Angus, defense in depth included a band of chevaux de frise, upturned stones jutting in every direction that were nearly impossible to cross. In terms of data security, the key lesson from Angus for us is to implement variety of defenses. Today, several firewalls might equal several layers of security, but that is only one kind of defense repeated. Like Angus, different tools and skills should be used at every stop to slow down an attack and improving the ability to counterattack. Part of defending the network is defending against the unknown. New attacks are constantly being invented, therefore security measures need to be checked, updated on a regular basis. Also, adjust to changing threat levels based on who is attacking and how they are attacking. Sometimes, security must trump efficiency. Was survival at Angus inconvenient? Yes. Fishing and trading required a long journey down the sloped land and then back again. With no fresh water supply, inhabitants needed to collect rainwater. Metals and other materials used to make tools and weapons and items for trading were mined far away and then transported to be created locally. Why did they make it so hard on themselves? Security. Those people could accept the sacrifice of some inefficiency if it benefits security. Security is part of the business of survival. In today's information world, it has become more crucial than ever to prioritize security over efficiency and convenience. The high ground, visibility beyond the perimeter, must be taken. Applications must be secured first and then deployed on the networks. Accessing data must follow strict security protocols, no matter if it causes inconvenience and affects efficiency. Control traffic. The architects of Angus assumed attacks would come. They designed the forts so that attacks would be as difficult as possible. Entrances faced downward, doorways were narrow and hard to find, and walls forced intruders to turn right, exposing the intruder's weapon-carrying hand to attack. You couldn't just run through. Also, chevaux de frise was 40 meters from the inner enclosure. 40 meters is a human's missile-throwing range. If you couldn't stop intruders, you slowed them down. Today, many data breaches are a result of perpetrators having free range to explore and attack at will once in the network. The features of Angus applied to both friend and foe. Information security needs to treat the network like an Angus and control the flow of traffic at every stop. Make it as difficult as possible for even an insider to get around and wreak havoc. Brandish security. Denangus's grandeur was a security feature, making a statement to anyone who was thinking about attacking that you had the best defense, and attacking would not be in their best interest. Companies today rarely brandish information security, perhaps because they have little confidence in it. But letting the world know some of the more aggressive steps you're taking to prevent attacks can be a powerful deterrent, especially in a world littered with less secure forts. Invaders attack the less secure structure.